All right, good morning, everybody. It is Friday, and so it's shock therapy day. And today I was really going between two different perspectives in the Bible, or two different verses, I guess you can say, that I really wanted to talk about this morning. And so I went from one to the other to let's do both to back to one, back to the other. And so finally, the Lord really settled in my heart to talk about this morning. And so if you were at camp, you heard the verse a lot about Ephesians 6:13, the whole armor of God and being able to stand in the evil day and having done all to stand. And because our theme was be the one that stands, no matter if anybody else stands or not. And so as I was thinking about that this morning, I was reading through my devotions and praying about what God would want us to do or to look at this morning. Really the big thing that kind of came to me, or that kind of hit me, was while I was at the gym. And I know this sounds crazy, but while I was at the gym this morning, it was leg day for me, which obviously means you work your legs. I know, but you work your legs out. And one of the machines that you use is a squat machine. So you put a bar on the back of your shoulders and you squat down, and then you squat back up. And as I was in the middle of that, really, it kind of occurred to me then to talk about this. But then as I was at the office and trying to figure out which one to do, I didn't remember that it kind of hit me at that moment to talk about it until just a couple minutes ago. And in fact, I was talking with Miss Brittany about which one to do, and I still was like, I just don't know. And I got back to the office and I went, oh, that's right, we're going to talk about this one. So as I was doing the squat machine, and especially towards the end of the workout when I had some extra ones to do that were right at the end, in what you would call a burnout. In other words, you do it until you can't do it anymore. Your target reps are anyways, you go for as many as you possibly can. Towards the end of those, as you start to push up on a squat machine and you're trying to get to the top, everything inside of you is fighting to put more power into your legs to propel you up and to make it where you can stand straight up and then hook the bar back onto the rack. Everything inside of you is screaming at you to give up. Everything inside of you is going, this hurts too bad. What are you doing to yourself? You shouldn't cause yourself pain. Give up. Go get a burger. Go get some pecan pie if you're Pastor Matt. Go do something other than working out. But in that moment, and in fact, I heard a motivational speech on it one time, in that moment when your entire body is screaming at you to stop, it's your willpower to look at your body and say, I won't stop because this is what is better for you in the end. The only way you get stronger is by increasing weight, which means then that it gets harder as you increase weight. The same goes in our Christian life. If you're going to take Ephesians 6:13 as God's word and you're going to live that way, then understand that you need the entire, whole, complete fulfillment of the armor of God. You cannot go to war with the squat machine without having the whole armor of God, because Ephesians 6:13 says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that, in other words, because you're going to take on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So every time you're going to go through life and you're going to make decisions for Christ, there's going to be another weight added to the squat machine. It may be 2.5 pounds, it may be 5 pounds, it may be a 45 on each side, but there's going to be weight added, because to strengthen you means that you need to go through a strengthening exercise. If I constantly only did 5 pounds worth of squats every day, I'm not going anywhere, because I'm not strengthening myself. I'm not straining myself and challenging myself. God's word is going to look at you and say, do everything you can to strengthen yourself, but you don't have to do it alone, because it's found in the whole armor of God. When we talk about friendships and you need to go, which by the way, we'll talk about next week about, is it wrong to break off a friendship? Isn't that mean? But if you're going to go do that, you need every bit of the armor of God to be able to stand in that day. It's not an easy thing. It is not just a cakewalk. But what God requires of you is not that you do it on your own. God requires you to do it putting on the whole armor of God so that you can actually stand up. In the middle of your last, so some of you may feel like you haven't even put weight on the bar. Some of you may feel like you've got a little bit of weight, and some of you may feel like you're down in the squat position and you're struggling just to get an inch off the ground. Take unto you the whole armor of God. Read through the rest of Ephesians 6, verse 14 all the way through verse 20. It is the rest of the whole armor of God. Read through that, put it on, so that you can stand up and you can do something for God. No matter what anybody else does, be the one that completes the rep. Be the one that finishes that rep in the squat machine. Be the one that takes unto you the whole armor of God, having done all to stand. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you standing this week.